Who are pathological narcissists, people? Pathological narcissists are adult bullies. Do you remember those bullies from high school or maybe even college? Well, yeah, they did not grow up out of their bullying. So what happens is if you practice a behavior, then it becomes perfect. So what happens is that bullies were not really working on themselves. They were working on tormenting other people. So because they were stuck in this vibration, well, they now have different types of personality disorders, different types of mood dysregulations, and so on. So bullying in children is linked with long-term problems. And it isn't only the victims who are affected. Kids who bully are more likely to develop symptoms of antisocial personality disorder, a condition colloquially known as sociopathy or psychopathy. So understand that narcissism, people, pathological narcissism, the patterned behavior of narcissism is practiced behavior. And they practice lying, they practice gaslighting, they practice the double bind, they practice triangulation, etc. Which is why when you meet these individuals as adults, they have mastered this behavior. So understand that those bullies that you encountered in high school and college and so on, most of them really do not grow up to be loving, kind, empathetic individuals. They are the domestic violence abusers. They are bullies. Again, adult bullies are abusers. There's really no way around this. Bullying is a type of abuse. So understand that NPD, narcissistic personality disorder, often overlaps with antisocial personality disorder, ASPD, that which you may commonly call sociopathy or psychopathy. For example, if you were dealing with someone that met all 9 traits that are listed on the DSM for NPD, right, narcissistic personality disorder, then you are dealing with a narcissistic sociopath or a sociopathic narcissist. You will see the term malignant narcissist going around to describe them because, again, NPD and ASPD can overlap. And again, people, you are dealing with adult bullies. And understand that bullies have low self-esteem, and this is why they have to drag others down. So oftentimes on the channel, you will hear me state that pathological narcissists are rooted in their shame and they're unable to move past their pride. So understand that shame, the emotion shame, is an emotion that is directed at the self. So shame is linked to your self-esteem and your self-confidence and your self-worth. So if I say that pathological narcissists have pathologically low self-esteem, then understand that their self-esteem is so low that they would probably have to look up to see it. So it is little to non-existent. So understand that these people do not love themselves and they're also incapable of loving others. Every day they wake up, they're in the first dimension. So they wake up, they're in shame. And at best, they get to the third dimension. So they get to pride. And pride cometh before the fall. So they fall right back down to shame. Because the pride that they have is dysfunctional pride. It is not pride like taking pride in your work, like confidence. They do not have true confidence. What they have is grandiosity to hide their deep-seated insecurities and shame. So this grandiosity is their false sense of superiority. And this makes them very big-headed. You are dealing with ego maniacs because they are predominantly their ego. So understand that you're dealing with someone that does not see anything truly wrong with their behavior. And this is why pride cometh before the fall. So they fall right back down to shame because they are not letting go of their pride to get to courage, right? You have to let go of lower emotions to get to a higher level. So pride cometh before the fall and they fall right back down to shame. And they have been in this shame, pride cycle since their childhood years. So I want to make it abundantly clear to you that their behavior has nothing to do with you. They have been in this shame, pride cycle since their childhood years. They have been like this long before you came into the picture, because again, they are not working on their true selves, their true spirits. They abandoned their true selves or their true spirits in childhood. Instead, they have been working on their mask, that grandiose mask that they wear. They have been working on their ego. So today you are dealing with an ego maniac. They are predominantly their ego, because the bigger the ego gets, the more their spirit shrivels up. So let's say their spirit is on 5%, well, their ego is on 95%. So the ego is what you are interacting with. You are interacting with the mask, the false self. And the ego is a mind-made construct. They made it up. And this is why you'll see cracks in their mask. And when you question them on their behavior, you will see where they have a narcissistic injury. And a narcissistic injury is when a pathological narcissist perceives a threat, whether real or imagined, that goes against the grandiose false self, that goes against the mask, the figment of their imagination. So what happens is that they have a narcissistic injury, and then they hold on to the mask even tighter. And again, the mask grows, the ego grows. And understand that the ego has an insatiable desire to be fed. The ego needs to be boosted. And this is why you have to boost their ego. The ego gets its supply from the outside. And again, they cannot revitalize their energy because, again, they abandon source. They abandon spirit. They started to dissociate in childhood. So the more they walk around here on planet Earth, the bigger their ego gets. And again, the more their spirit shrivels up. So understand that we are not our egos. We are spirit governing a physical body with access to tools, namely our mind power, our willpower, and our emotions. But when it comes to pathological narcissists, they abandoned their spirits in childhood and instead they adopted a false self, the mask. So they are ego beings having a physical experience with the inability to self-reflect. When it comes to pathological narcissists, they abandoned their spirits in childhood and instead they adopted a false self, the mask. So they are ego beings having a physical experience with the inability to self-reflect. So what you really are dealing with, people, is a ticking time bomb. Because the captain abandoned the ship, the soldier abandoned their post. The driver is in the back seat. People, I want to make it abundantly clear to you that the ship that you are on is the Titanic. And there is only one way that the Titanic goes. And it goes down because, again, the captain abandoned the ship. And this is why oftentimes you look at narcissists and you look in their eyes and, again, the lights are on, but nobody's really home with a pathological narcissist, people. You were interacting with an ego. You are interacting with the figment of a child's imagination now existing inside of an adult's body. You really are interacting with a zombie. They are lost souls. They are dark souls drifting deep and deep and deep and deeper into the sunken place. And if you follow pathological narcissist people, that is where you are headed. Into darkness, into oblivion. And this is why it felt like you were losing yourself in these entanglements, because you were following a lost soul. And if you follow a lost soul, then you will eventually also end up lost yourself. You will lose your spirit. You will feel like you're losing your mind. You will also feel like you're losing control of your emotions. And you will also feel like you are losing your will to live. Do not follow pathological narcissists. If you encounter the dead, you bury the dead. What are you doing with that corpse? Are you into necromancy? Are you a necromancer? Bury the dead. Ascend. Get the courage to walk away and stay away from these toxic personality types. So If you need help on your healing journey, if you need one-on-one support, go ahead and take that courageous step, people, and book a one-on-one session. I've been where you are, lost, confused, and unsure of how to navigate this path. But understand that you definitely can heal from narcissistic abuse. However, it takes the accurate information and taking action on that information. So if you're someone and you've been in narcissistic relationship after narcissistic relationship, then there is some accurate information that you need. Because when you take action on inaccurate information, then people are not going to get the results that you truly want. So go ahead and take the courageous first step and reach out. Help is closer than you think. And again, healing is completely possible, but you have to take action on accurate information. And that is how you will be able to attract healthy and wholesome people and experiences into your life. If you want more information on how to traverse this journey, go ahead and check out the NARC101 course, a fabulous course, people, to have in your archive. The NARC101 course is 3 hours long and it is totally free. So all of the videos are free and the books that I have in there are totally free also. You can read the books digitally online. So in the NARC101 course, I'll take you from A to Z on what you need to know about pathological narcissism. So we get into the dysfunctional childhood that you may have had, where you most likely were the scapegoat or you were the lost child. We'll talk about narcissistic relationship dynamics. We'll talk about gaslighting, triangulation, all of that. And I even get into the spiritual aspect of this, because this really is a journey of remembering yourself, of reconnecting to spirit and stepping into your power and knowing that you have the ability to create the life that you want. So go ahead and take the NARC101 course. Again, all of the links for these are on the page. All right, kind people, thank you so much for all of your love and support. Ensure that you're liking these videos. Ensure that you are subscribed for more empowering content. Do you have any questions? If you have any questions, go ahead and leave that in the comment section. Sheikah is the name. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.